Less is more in all aspects of life. It's true. Lately in my life and amongst my peers, there's been a recurring theme, and it's coming up all the time. We've all heard the term less is more, especially in cooking. However, today, I want to talk about how this theme or idea is showing up in my life on a regular basis. And by being aware of it, it's actually helping me to get things done more efficiently. For the rest of the video, I'm going to be referring to less is more as lim. Why? Because lim. So as I mentioned before, we all know lim shows up in cooking, but I've never realized how much it shows up everywhere else. So as we know, the idea is that if we have less or use less, it's in fact more. How does that work? Does it mean that one thing needs more room to shine, or is it just too overwhelming to have too much choice? I like to believe it's both. And also after realizing this, it's now super clear to me that if you think you don't have enough of something, that having that limitation is also a beautiful thing. Lim first started showing up quite strongly for me, or at least I became more aware of it, in my music production. If you didn't already know, producing music's one of my favorite things to do. It's pretty meditative. Anyways, it always seems like we should put endless effects and instrument layers on a track. But not only does this make things much harder to deal with in the mixing stage, it's very rare that you'll even finish a track in the first place. As producers, we have all these software instruments and plugins that we feel that we need to use, as we've bought them. But does our song really need them? Did we even need to buy them in the first place? Since I've been aware of lim, the songwriting process hasn't just become easier, it's become much more enjoyable. Another place lim is starting to show up is in these videos. I know I still could use a lot more practice, but I'm trying to use as few words as I can to try and get my point across. And that's pretty hard for me. However, after trying to keep this in mind, the idea of lim started to show up in my conversations. I started thinking, Alex, when you're talking, try to say just enough to get your point across. There's no need to elaborate about something if you've already said enough. You may be excited about whatever you're talking about, but let the person in front of you get excited in their own time. Since thinking this way, it's now super clear to me that you always need to give people some time to digest what you've just said, regardless of what it is, even if it's something you really find exciting. Anyways, due to being aware of this, I've found that my conversations with people are getting better. And I already thought I was an okay listener, but I found that being aware of lim is definitely making me a better one. Other areas where lim is showing up is when I'm personally consuming information. Just like when I'm trying to talk less, maybe I should also limit what I'm reading and listening to. Maybe just one podcast or reading your book instead is good enough for one day. I should take some time also to digest the information properly. It might very well be good, healthy information, but if you don't give the information time to process, how the hell is it gonna stick in your head? Alright, now I want to give you two examples where having limitations has been—
Whoa, sorry to interrupt, but I just realized that words like limit, limitation, and limited all begin with L-I-M. I know. Anyways, back to the vid.
Right, now I want to give you two examples where having limitations has been fantastic for me lately. You see, I don't have many clothes, and I've literally just got one pair of shoes. It's great! And the clothes I do have, except for this vest, most of them are all black. It's pretty easy for me to decide what I'm gonna wear. And due to this, my mind can concentrate on other things. You see, making choices takes up a lot of energy, and when you have less choices, you can concentrate on what really matters. Here's the other thing that happened recently. Me and my folks were thinking about going to this pizza restaurant. I checked out the photos online and it all looked pretty good. Now I'm vegetarian, and whatever, that's not the point. The point is that the menu had 15 different pizzas on it, and only 2 of them were vegetarian. I straight away thought, this is great. My choice is easy. I actually had a chuckle to myself at how much I appreciated the fact that I didn't have to choose from so many pizzas. Anyways, I think it's important to realize that we now live in a world where there's so many options for everything. We may initially think that having a lot to choose from is good, but it really isn't. I mean, if you sit in front of the TV with the abundance of movies you have on offer, how long do you actually spend scrolling through them before you actually choose one to watch? So, what does meditation have to do with this?
Yeah, what does this have to do with meditation?
Well, if it wasn't for meditation, I probably would have never been aware of all of this in the first place. And today, I'm just going to leave it at that, because as we know, less is more. I mean, lim. If this video has given you value, please hit the like button and subscribe, and hit that bell icon too so you don't miss any future content. And if you like chill electronic music, I'll leave a link below for you to check out my Soundcloud. I got a couple of tracks on there now, but there'll be some more coming soon. I'm Alex, I'll see you next week. Later, Meditator.
Make no mistake, it's time to meditate.